Behold London's Natural History Museum. Located on the intersection of Cromwell and Queen's Place, this locale is perfect for South Kensington residents to visit. Complemented by the fact that it's free admission, this museum is a great way to spend the afternoon, either to learn about the planet's fascinating history, or quite simply enjoy the picnic-perfect garden just before the entrance. And if a journey of understanding is what you seek, the main hall will greet you well. This massive whale skeleton will surely be the first thing to catch your eye. It is huge, standing just above the all-father of natural science, Charles Darwin, reposed in the warship stature similar to that of a god. Pun slightly intended. I myself visited the museum on the 5th of August 2019, and oh, was I impressed. My favorite exhibit had to be the Dinosaur exhibit. It was unlike any I've seen before, and I tell you, I've been to many dinosaur exhibits growing up. There was something special about this one that managed to place itself at the top of my list. The first thing I noticed upon entering was the lighting. The blinds on all the windows were pulled shut. It was as if it was purposefully dimmed for, well, I didn't quite know for what cause. All I know is that it made the dinosaurs overhead appear like silhouetted giants, and the dimly lit fossils on display very imposing. I reckon the lights were arranged like this precisely to evoke this eerie sense of discomfort, a sort of apprehension for the past, like any animal would have been during the reign of the dinosaurs. Moving forth, it took me a while to notice this next peculiarity. Rather than allowing the guests to openly explore at their leisure, the exhibit was configured into a long, narrowed path. This made the exhibit flow down steadily like a stream, with everyone moving along in a somewhat single file. However, this stream was not a straight line. Instead, the exhibit was like a winding maze, making it practically impossible for any kid or adult to go backwards or even leave the exhibit, at least not until they completed it. The only way out was to trail the long path of many sights and displays. Essentially, the exhibit encloses you within this close-quartered room of nothing but dinosaurs and a colossal load of prehistoric information. What's not to love? Jokes aside, I like this style of exhibit because it changed things up a bit, offering guests an experience far from the traditional mundane museum formula. It was an innovative and captivating surprise into a world of dinosaurs. This aspect of having new experiences with something as customary and old-fashioned as dinosaur exhibits is by far what this London exhibit did best, distinguishing it from the rest. A prime example of these new experiences is in the dinosaur displays themselves. Not only did the exhibit showcase dinosaurs in their traditional skeletal poses like the majority of dino exhibits, but it also displayed them in lifelike recreation. The T-Rex was daunting, and not only for me. This roaring animatronic gathered quite the crowd from both kids and adults, all intrigued to see the creature acting as it would, in the flesh. No matter the age, this was the highlight of the experience, as it was the heart of the exhibit. And just when the guests thought that was all, there was another animatronic display waiting for them down the path, although this time of two ferocious raptors. These were less unnerving as their mechanical movements were a bit slow and stiff, making them feel unnatural and all the less convincing. But regardless, there was still something about seeing dinosaurs act as they would have millions of years ago that was so enthralling. Despite there being only 2 animatronic displays in the entire exhibit, this was still enough to make the visit worthwhile. Dinosaur enthusiasts or not, these were sights to see. Overall, I noticed the exhibit appealed to a much wider audience as it offered both the standard sophisticated dosage of information, along with a multitude of exciting kid-friendly attractions. From Q&As to fun facts, this was enough to keep both age groups invested all the way through. Personally, I very much enjoyed the displays that permitted me to touch the textures of the replicated fossils, allowing me to feed my inner childlike curiosities. That's what's particularly special about this exhibit. In aiming its focus onto both children and their accompanying parents, the exhibit successfully brings out from everybody the shared appreciation for dinosaurs. In that room, there was a universal ardor for discovery and learning about history, or rather, prehistory. To top it all off, say for some odd reason the child didn't have a good time, either due to the fright of the darkness or fright of the realistic roaring T-Rex, or both moreover, regardless of which, there were enough toys at the gift shop to satisfy their time. Even though I didn't buy anything myself, I still enjoyed my time at the Museum of Natural History. As every visitor of this well-crafted exhibit, I left with more knowledge than I arrived, and for that reason, I say the dinosaur exhibit was a big success. I'll make sure to return whenever it may be that I find myself in London again.